going to answer it. The question was, what's your advice for someone who may be apprehensive on attending a party because they feel they don't have the right body type or penis size? Which I thought was a very good question. And it's probably a question that a lot of people have. So the simple question to that is...
Simple answer to that.
I mean, the simple answer to that is you'll have to go to several different parties until you find one you're comfortable at. Or you can keep talking to various group owners.
Right, there you go.
Until you find some group owners you're comfortable with. But that's not always enough. Sometimes you're very comfortable with the owners, but the other people who are there you're not comfortable with. That happens sometimes.
That's true, but the founders are also usually a good indicator of the type of people that
that's
are
not
being
always
invited.
true. That's not always true.
Well, the ones that I go to and yours, they usually are.
That's us, but
that's true.
That's not always true. I know lots of people that I really, really like those people, and I like when they throw parties. I'm just not always fond of the people who show up.
Well, now you can't control everything.
Well, no,
but
absolutely.
Actually, yeah, you could.
Well,
yeah, because we do. We control strongly who comes to
If you think there's
ours.
somebody
no,
who doesn't...
that's not what I mean. What I mean is that you can have somebody that normally is cool people, and they might have an off night, and you gotta step in there and take care of something. That's what I mean.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not always talking about that.
For me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, because for me, the groups that I'm associated with, including yours, the founders have been a very good indicator of the type of people that attend their parties and the type of attitudes they have. Not their mindset all the time, but again, if I go to after I've spoken to Freaky and I know what his tastes and tendencies are, then I know that even if I didn't realize what voluptuous, the definition of what voluptuous meant, I would know that at least going to one of his or your parties, that a female of size, large and lovely, would be comfortable.
Okay. But that's not always what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have personalities that just don't jive, and there might be a lot of them.
That's true.
You know, there are certain people who, you know, the people who come to their party are not necessarily indicative of the type of people they are.
Okay.
So that happens. It's a personality thing, and that happens. So what you just got to sometimes do, going and talking to the owners is good, and that's where you should start. You should start,
always.
And you should always start with talking to whoever runs the group. Because if you're comfortable with them, then that's a start. But then once you go, you might get there, and you like the owners, and you like the people who run the group, but maybe you're not 100% comfortable with everybody else who's there. So then you go to another group. You may have to go around to one until you feel comfortable, or you may have to go to the same one for a while until you feel comfortable. That's totally acceptable and normal, and you know that's what happens. As for penis size, what did you want to say?
Just want to add on that. That's part of the reason why Voluptuous Cafe was made. There were a lot of swing groups at that time, but women of size did not always feel comfortable at some of the swing parties. They were made fun of, or any guy who might have been interested felt that maybe he couldn't do so. He had to do it on the down low because it would cut his chances of being with someone else that he also wanted to be with. So, yeah, there was a lot of that. In this area, I don't find that to be the case as much anymore.
Not anymore.
Because big girls for real rule this area.
Yeah.
Like, almost any party you go to, you want to find them.
Actually, we ended up having to make, at one point, make another group because, you know, I was smaller than, his girlfriend at the time was smaller than, and we were not welcome at Voluptuous Cafe at all.
Well, I wouldn't say at all, but about half of them maybe.
Yeah, it was.
The men were just fine.
We were made to feel very uncomfortable, so we said, okay, we're going to have a sister group, and you know that's how one of our other groups came about.
Now, I don't want the audience to get the wrong idea. There are more than enough groups.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who do not require or who do not cater, so to speak, to the large and lovelies, but there are a hell of a lot of groups that do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in this area, okay, let's be real. The big chicks keep it real. They keep it sexy. They own their sexuality, and they ain't got time for the bullshit. So I just want to put that out there because, for instance, I also have my own group, not advertising it today, but I also have my own group, and I don't cater or not cater to the large and lovelies, even though I'm one myself. I'm open to whoever. My biggest thing is personality. But I will tell you, I have just as many thick chicks come in as ones who aren't thick that come in. So it doesn't matter. And same thing with our guys. We love our big and handsomes too, okay? So when it comes to body size, it's like anything else. It's what you are comfortable with and who you are attracted to. Because I've been in plenty of situations where someone's told me, you're a little too thick for me. Not a problem, sweetheart. You do you, I do me. And then toward the end of the evening, like, yeah, so can I get that number?
No. Thought you said I was too big.
Yeah, I
trying
mean,
to do it on the download makes you lose out altogether.
yeah, so if you're, and then again, don't get the wrong idea that if you go to a particular group and you're not attracted, or you find, even if you are attracted to the thicker girls, my large and lovelies, as I like to call them, but you don't see someone there that particular night, that's not indicative of the group. It just means that that night, just like anywhere else, you just didn't happen to find someone that you were physically attracted to have that kind of fun with. It's okay. So just understand that regardless of what the theme of the group is or what the group caters to, that you are still in control of what you do, and you are allowed to be attracted to whoever you're attracted to.
Right. As for penis size, I would love to be able to tell you that size does not matter. But for some people it does.
Some are size queens.
Some people prefer them large, some people prefer them small.
Some love them
What
all.
I would, and some of us love them all. They just have to be a penis.
Okay. And a strap.
And I'm not even right.
Too.
I'm not even all that partial to that. I'm pretty much cool with whatever. But as far as penis size, I know that that's a big deal. I know that a lot of a man's ego is tied to it. So, I understand that it could be a big, could be something that's very important and can be intimidating. But all I can say, in speaking for our parties, somebody's going to want to have it in them, regardless of the size. Whether it's in their mouth, whether it's in their vagina, whatever. There might just be in their, and then there's some of us who want it in the back door. And that's cool. Somebody is going to, at one of our parties, especially because we are so very much, you have to go through you have to jump through flaming hoops of fire to get to one of our parties. You have to fill out an application and be reviewed by a board. And you're not coming through our door unless somebody said, yes, I'm going to fuck that person.
Essentially, yeah.
And what I like to say a lot is, what doesn't fit in one door damn sure fits in another one. So you don't have to be a mandingo to feel welcome at a party. In fact, I can tell you quite honestly that sometimes the mandingos aren't always the ones getting to play. It's that average or little size motherfucker who has some other skills as well, who's honest about what he's working with and knows how to work what he's getting. And you'll see them big motherfuckers on the corner or lean against a wall, lips all padded out, can't figure out why all these women are lined up with this little dick motherfucker. That's because he rocks it. Okay?
That's because I'm not that grown.
Okay, so I'm just putting it out there. Don't feel like if you don't measure up to somebody else, and I do mean literally measure up, if you don't measure up in that way to someone, that you shouldn't come to one of our parties. That's bullshit. Okay, just letting you know, we can very much so. We can take care of that. Okay.
Okay, so let me throw in real quick, for real. As a man, let me tell you what you should be concentrating on. That's your personality, what you present.
Absolutely.
If you have a good enough personality, if your game, so to say, is kind of tight, just because you don't have the biggest equipment isn't going to matter much, because if you've touched their mind and their emotional center, they're going to pretty much enjoy whatever you do, even if you're on the smaller side. Now, let's be real. If you got an inch, 2 inches, you should probably stick with the oral.
I'm going to need you to have some other
skills.
skills.
No. Anal.
Okay, So, as you can see, there are options.
I'm not that grown either.
a swing party is not an opportunity to come and try to say, oh, I'm the biggest and the best, I'm rocking everything in the room. That's not the point. The point is for you and the people that you're there with to enjoy themselves. And as long as you enjoy yourself and they enjoy themselves, it's a fucking win. Stop being worried about what the contest is. It's not a dick measuring contest.
Okay.